Most of my patients with PCOS aren't feeling that weight loss. They've just been using the wrong strategy. And with all the misinformation online, it's easy to fall into those traps. If you're eating better, trying to move more, and still frustrated by the scale, this isn't a discipline problem. And today, I want to explain why. Hi, I'm Dr. Shermadou. I'm a board-certified family medicine, obesity medicine physician, and I work with many women who have PCOS who feel confused or discouraged about their weight, especially when they're already trying to do all the right things. In this video, I'll explain why PCOS changes the rules of weight loss, what actually works long-term, and what I see backfire in real life. PCOS, or Polycystic Ovary Syndrome, is a complex condition, and it's unfortunately named because it affects far more than just the ovaries. PCOS involves multiple systems in the body, including the reproductive system, the endocrine and metabolic systems, cardiovascular health, and even mental health. By definition, PCOS is characterized by three main features: irregular menstrual cycles or problems with ovulation, excess androgens, which are the hormones that are often thought of as male hormones like testosterone, although women have them too, and polycystic ovaries on imaging. A diagnosis of PCOS requires two of the three criteria known as the Rotterdam criteria, and diagnosis usually involves both a clinical exam and blood work. Your clinicians may look for signs of excess androgens such as cystic acne, increased facial hair, or hair thinning. Blood tests can assess hormone levels, and in some cases AMH testing can be used to suggest polycystic ovaries instead of an ultrasound. Many women with PCOS also have insulin resistance, which increases the risk of metabolic syndrome. This can include visceral fat gain, elevated cholesterol levels, and an increased risk of developing diabetes. And I really want to emphasize this. PCOS is not something you caused. It's not the result of a specific lifestyle choice. It's multifactorial and influenced by genetics, insulin resistance, and hormonal dysregulation. So when standard weight loss advice doesn't work, it's not usually because of effort. It's because the approach doesn't match the physiology. Treatment for PCOS is also multifactorial. Current guidelines emphasize lifestyle interventions addressing mental health and treating hormonal and metabolic contributors. Today, we're just going to focus on two important lifestyle factors: nutrition and exercise. PCOS manifests differently in every woman, which means there's no single one-size-fits-all approach to treatment, especially when it comes to diet and exercise. For someone without PCOS, reducing calories or adding exercise may lead to a relatively predictable weight loss result. With PCOS, however, the same strategies can produce very different outcomes. Many women with PCOS have insulin resistance, metabolic syndrome, or excess body weight. Fat tissue itself is metabolically active and involved in hormonal and neuroendocrine regulation. This means that losing weight with PCOS can be just as biologically challenging as it is for individuals with non-PCOS related excess body weight. Some common signs I see that PCOS may be contributing to weight struggles include consistent effort with very little progress, quick weight regain after initial loss, or intense hunger and cravings when calories are reduced. These patterns are often the result of hormonal dysregulation, altered neuroendocrine signaling, and changes in the body's weight set point, especially after repeated cycles of weight loss and regain. One of the biggest problems I see is over-restriction paired with pushing the body too hard, often going from 0 to 100 overnight. Small, consistent changes are what lead to long-term success. It's similar to what we see every January. People make major resolutions, and within 2 or 3 weeks, the approach becomes unsustainable. Weight loss with PCOS works the same way. The body responds far better to steady, supported changes than to extreme swings. Instead of focusing on eating less, the goal is eating in a way that supports blood sugar regulation and hormonal health. That usually means prioritizing whole foods with an emphasis on protein, fiber, and whole grains, while limiting highly processed and refined carbohydrates that can lead to blood sugar spikes and increased cravings. The most important part is finding a nutrition approach that works for you, one that fits into your lifestyle, includes foods you enjoy and cultural foods that matter to you, and doesn't make eating feel stressful or overwhelming. Small, consistent dietary changes over time are what create a sustainable and healthy lifestyle. When it comes to exercise with PCOS, the goal isn't just burning calories, it's improving insulin sensitivity and reducing chronic stress on the body. Strength training is the foundation. It supports metabolism, preserves muscle mass, and improves long-term hormonal health. Muscle helps absorb glucose from the bloodstream, which lowers blood sugar and reduces insulin resistance. This is key. Improving insulin sensitivity and increasing muscle mass over time has positive effects on many aspects of health and longevity. There is also growing evidence that high-intensity interval training, or HIIT, can be helpful for women with PCOS when it's done correctly. Short bouts of higher intensity exercise where you work hard for brief intervals followed by recovery have been shown to improve insulin resistance, aerobic fitness, and even menstrual regularity in some women with PCOS. What's important is that HIIT is structured and limited. This is not about doing all-out workouts every day. Most research looks at HIIT performed 2 to 3 times a week for relatively short sessions. Moderate intensity exercise still plays an important role. Activities like brisk walking, cycling, or steady movement that you can sustain while holding a conversation support cardiovascular health, recovery, and stress regulation. In practice, the most sustainable approach for PCOS tends to be a combination of strength training as the base with a mix of structured HIIT and regular moderate intensity movement. And if you haven't started strength training yet, that's okay. Even 2 to 3 sessions per week can make a meaningful difference over time. Persistent hunger and cravings are often driven by blood sugar fluctuations, poor sleep, high stress levels, or inadequate recovery, not a lack of willpower. Addressing sleep, stress management, and food quality can make nutrition feel much more manageable. Improving sleep and reducing stress have wide-reaching benefits across physical and mental health. Limiting highly processed foods combined with adequate sleep can significantly reduce cravings over time. Some of the biggest mistakes I see include severe calorie restriction, doing high-intensity workouts every day without adequate recovery, ignoring sleep and stress, and focusing only on the number on the scale. These approaches are not sustainable and can lead to worse long-term outcomes. If weight loss with PCOS has felt frustrating or confusing, I want you to know you're not broken and you're not alone. Progress comes from aligning the plan with your physiology and your lifestyle, not from pushing harder. Trying to do this alone can be challenging, and you don't have to. If you have PCOS and weight loss has felt confusing or discouraging, you don't have to navigate this on your own. If you're looking for physician-led personalized care that takes your hormones, metabolism, and lifestyle into account, you can book a consultation through the link below. I'd be happy to support you. If this video was helpful, let me know in the comments, and be sure to like and subscribe so that you don't miss any future videos, and feel free to share this video with someone who might benefit. In the future video, I'll be talking about another endocrine disorder, hypothyroidism, and how thyroid issues can affect weight in both men and women. So stay tuned for that, and that's it for now.